This is WWE Off The Script. This is episode number 22, part number 2 for your week ending July 20th, 2014. I have exclusive news you're not going to hear anywhere else on YouTube. Why Triple H does not want to wrestle Roman Reigns at WWE Summerslam. This is the number one source for all WWE right here on YouTube.com. Hand me my cold beverage, hit my fucking music, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Let's break the walls down. Who knows about to rock on what you want? Baby, you know you're Judas and I'm your priest. Baby, what I got is not from the least. Bring it to the stage and the rage of the beast. Step into the arena and break the walls down. Step into the arena and break the walls down. Step into the light.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. This is WWE Off The Script, episode number 22, part number 2 for your week ending July 20th, 2014. This is your number one source for all WWE right here on YouTube.com. Now, before I get into the big news story I got for you this week on part 2, a few things I do want to go over. Number one, Battleground is this Sunday. I will be doing a review immediately following the conclusion of that pay-per-view on the WWE Network. Tune into my channel here on YouTube. I will be doing a review and results video, so do not miss that. I will be talking about all the major happenings at WWE Battleground and giving you my thoughts and opinions on everything that happened on Sunday night, so do not miss that. Number two, if you guys did miss Off The Script, part 1 this Friday. Link is right down below. Go and check that out. Brock Lesnar officially confirmed to be at Monday Night Raw. What are the WWE's plans going forward? And his feud with John Cena. How are they going to kick that off live from Miami, Florida on Monday Night Raw? I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. And also a big CM Punk story as well in part 1. Go and check that out if you did indeed miss that on Friday night. Now, Chair Shot Reality. They also got a big weekend to start your weekend off on Friday. They talk about the WWE 2K15 teaser trailer with Sting. They give you their genuine reaction to what we've seen on Monday Night Raw this past Monday. And there is a possibility, they do talk about a possibility that Sting may be feuding with Bray Wyatt. So go and check that out. Must-see TV from Justin LaBar, Josh Eisenberg, and Brian Gulish. Chair Shot Reality, WrestleZone.com. Link is right down below, so go give those guys some love. Tell them JD sent you. Now, I got big news. Exclusive news you're not going to hear anywhere else on YouTube. Why Triple H does not want to wrestle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Okay? Absolutely selfish individual Triple H can be. This pisses me off because I'm all for, WWE, Triple H, Vince, Stephanie, and everyone in creative making SummerSlam the best possible card it can be, because it needs to be. Triple H wrestling at SummerSlam is up in the air. If he decides not to, Roman Reigns will be facing Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Word coming out of this week's creative meetings is that Triple H is heavily leaning against working SummerSlam. Triple H does not want to work with Reigns he doesn't want to work with Reigns at SummerSlam because he thinks he will be overshadowed by John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, which will be the main attraction at this year's SummerSlam. A source noted that it's looking more and more like the match will be Reigns versus Orton at SummerSlam. That does not mean that Triple H doesn't want to work with Roman Reigns. He does want to work with Roman Reigns at some point in the future. Also, it's recently been said that a notable power shift backstage in the WWE has been taking place, and that producer Road Dogg BG James has ascended as one of Triple H's key men when it comes to kicking around booking ideas. Road Dogg's official title is producer, but he's been gaining more power creatively. While Vince McMahon is still head of creative, a lot of Road Dogg's ideas are being filtered through Triple H, and it's Triple H's job to present them to Vince McMahon. Word is that Road Dogg is very well liked and quickly gaining influence in WWE creative. Now, I don't know where Triple H's mindset is when it comes to booking SummerSlam. I would much rather see, and I know you guys are going to completely agree with me, I would much rather see Triple H in the ring against Roman Reigns than Randy Orton. If I was WWE, if I was Triple H, if I was Vince McMahon, Stephanie, and the higher-ups, that pretty much have all the power in WWE, you want the network to succeed. You want to showcase the network in the best possible light. The WWE has the talent to do so, especially when it comes to monthly pay-per-views. I'm not taking anything away from Randy Orton. I'm not taking anything away from Randy Orton at all. He is in his prime right now. Yes, he's taken a back seat, a lesser role right now. He hasn't been doing that much. He hasn't been, that important on WWE TV in the last couple of months. But I would much rather see Triple H versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Number one, it's more of a star-studded match. It's a bigger attraction. People are quickly gaining confidence, and they're getting behind Roman Reigns. The crowd is very much into him. Triple H is one of the best heels in the history of the WWE. We've seen teases that Triple H and Roman Reigns are going to pretty much collide one way or another. Why not build off that? What this is telling me is that Triple H, even though he is the CFO or whatever his fucking role is, or the COO, he's the COO of WWE, or CFO, COO, whatever. He's one of the guys in WWE right now that has the most power, all right? Pretty much what this is telling me is that he's a selfish individual. He doesn't want to be on SummerSlam simply because he doesn't want to be outshined by Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Please tell me, what is the difference if you have Triple H versus Roman Reigns at Night of Champions compared to SummerSlam, if you have it at SummerSlam? What's the difference? You're already booking Brock Lesnar, from what the reports are telling me, for Night of Champions. So, if you're going to book Roman Reigns versus Triple H at Night of Champions, what is the difference if Brock Lesnar and John Cena are going to be on that card as well? Why not stack SummerSlam? This is your summer extravaganza. This is your biggest pay-per-view outside of WrestleMania. Why not have all hands on deck for this pay-per-view? If I was Vince, I would say, listen, you're wrestling. This is the second biggest show of our calendar year. I want you to be there. I need you to be there. Put all your differences aside. Put your selfishness away. Why won't he wrestle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam? Because Brock Lesnar and John Cena are going to outshine him and steal his thunder at SummerSlam? He needs to be the number one guy at SummerSlam. He needs to be in the top match at SummerSlam. Well, let me tell you something. Even if he does wrestle Roman Reigns, it's not going to be a top match at SummerSlam. It's going to be a big attraction simply because Triple H's name garners that attention. But you're not going to have an all-star class, an all-time classic, a 5 out of 5 classic with Roman Reigns. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen when Brock Lesnar and John Cena are going to be battling for the world, for the company's biggest prize, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship. It's not going to happen. So, what this is telling me, and what I take away from this, is that even though Triple H is the COO of the WWE, he always states that it's best for business. This is best for business. That is best for business. Him being at SummerSlam is best for business. I think he should be at SummerSlam. Meanwhile, what he's doing and what I'm reading here and what I'm reading to all of you, it says that Triple H is a selfish motherfucker who doesn't want to be on SummerSlam because he's not going to be the number one guy there. His role has drastically changed. He doesn't need to be a number one guy anymore. He was a number one guy years ago. His role and authority now has completely, taken a life of its own. He is in a different role now. He doesn't need to wrestle. He goes on these cards, he wrestles on these cards simply because of situations like this with the WWE Network. If I was Vince, I would have him there because his name draws. Triple H doesn't want to be there because he's not going to be number one. He's not going to be the main attraction. He doesn't want to be overshadowed by John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Really? That, to me, pisses me off. I don't like seeing that. I don't like reading that. I don't like hearing that. When WWE realistically should have all hands on deck for SummerSlam, Triple H is going to sit this one out because he doesn't want to be overshadowed. That's a piss-poor attitude to have. That's not something that, other guys in the back should be hearing or reading. That's not what the fans need to be hearing or reading. That doesn't, present Triple H well amongst, the internet wrestling community. That doesn't sit well with me as a wrestling fan, reading shit like that. Now, take this shit with a grain of salt, but this has been reported in the past. That Triple H doesn't want to work with some guy, or Triple H doesn't want to work this show because he's going to be overshadowed or outshined. Well, let me tell you something. Triple H worked with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Who do you think made that match? Daniel Bryan made Triple H look that much good. So Triple H, in my eyes, in my opinion, should have been very fortunate enough that CM Punk left the company, that he got Daniel Bryan in the opening match at WrestleMania, because what Daniel Bryan did for that match is, A, it was one of the best matches this year, B, it was probably one of the best matches Triple H has been in the last 15 years, and that match itself made WrestleMania 30. So when Triple H wants to come off with this type of attitude, he should really, take a step back and think about what he's doing. Best for business? Him being at SummerSlam is best for business. Not this cocky, selfish, narcissistic attitude that Triple H supposedly is, giving off. I don't like hearing that type of shit. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with me. If Triple H does belong at SummerSlam wrestling Roman Reigns, I'd rather see Triple H versus Reigns instead of Orton versus Reigns. You're probably asking me, JD, what about Orton? What would he do at SummerSlam if he's not wrestling Reigns? Put him against Kane. I don't care. Orton hasn't been in anything important in the last couple of months anyway, so a match with Kane, whatever. Get him on the card, do what he's got to do, and that, move Kane on. That's all I say about that. But I would much rather see Triple H versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. With pay-per-view pretty much going away, it's said that WWE's business now and going forward is all about the WWE Network subscriber numbers. WWE still needs a steady rate of 1.3 to 1.4 million monthly subscribers worldwide to break even. With heavy budget cuts, it's possible that number could drop some. In order for WWE to make it back to previous levels of financial success, they need closer to 1.9 million monthly subscribers. Once WWE tops 2 million subscribers, unless they face major unexpected losses and cuts, the company will be in the best financial position they have ever been in. A great number for WWE's next subscriber announcement at the end of the month could be 850,000 subscribers. Given how hard the network has been pushed, the loaded pay-per-view events, and a number of specials on the network, anything less than 850,000 total subscribers wouldn't be good for WWE. They announced back in early April that the network had 667,000 plus subscribers, and they were hoping to hit at least 1 million before the end of the year. I do think they will hit 1 million before the end of the year. The network is going to begin rolling out in August and September, right before SummerSlam, I do believe. If it's not SummerSlam, it's Night of Champions, but I will look into that and let you guys know. They did, and I did read that the WWE is sending out emails letting the rest of the world know that the WWE Network is soon to be launching in all parts of the UK and Australia and all overseas, Canada. So you guys who don't have the network right now will be getting the network very, very, very soon. If I hear anything, obviously I will report it right here on Off the Script. But I do think the WWE will hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. Like I said, Triple H and all hands on deck. Everyone should be loading these pay-per-views up with the biggest stars that the company's got. Showcase these pay-per-views. Get them going with good storylines. Get it to the point where people have to, order the network to watch this great programming, these great pay-per-views. I don't like hearing selfishness by Triple H, man. That shit pisses me off. But I do think the WWE will hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year because it is going to be rolling out to other parts of the globe. According to the Wrestling Observer, a big reason why WWE signed Kenta is because the WWE Network is expanding into Japan next year, and they really wanted to have a top Japanese star for that reason. It's clear so far that WWE officials are not bringing Kenta in to fail, and from an important standpoint, it appears that there is more to his signing than meets the eye. Kenta is playing a big part in WWE's Japanese expansion, as it was announced a few days ago that NXT, where Kenta will be going first, will start airing on J Sports, a Japanese satellite channel. NXT was added to the channel due to Kenta being expected to be a regular there in just a few months. Kenta is scheduled to arrive in Orlando this coming week, and WWE has another press conference scheduled then with him and Triple H. It's going to be exciting. I don't know too much about Kenta. I got to brush up on my my history about what he's about. This is the first I'm really hearing about him, so don't kill the messenger. I got to find out what's going on with him. I got to look into some of his matches to get a familiar, sense with his style. But listen, he's a huge international star. I'm excited that WWE's bringing this guy in. Obviously, I watch NXT every week, so I'm looking forward to see what he can do down there in NXT and see his progress up to the WWE main roster. But obviously, if anything more happens with Kenta, I will report it here on WWE Off The Script. WWE officials wanted to keep using Summer Rae on TV after her split with Fandango, mainly because of her role on Total Divas, which is why she was put with Layla. Apparently, WWE Creative wanted to keep using her, but couldn't come up with anything else. I don't fucking care. I'm sure you guys don't care as well. Jack Swagger received rave reviews and praise from officials for how he's gotten over as a babyface in his current feud with Lana and Rusev. While Swagger has been a topic of contention due to botches and his famous, or his infamous arrest, I should say, at one time WWE had very big plans for him. Word this week is that Rusev was originally booked to run through Swagger at Battleground, but there's talk of extending this feud past SummerSlam. Should be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to that. Listen, I was never a big Jack Swagger fan. I want the WWE to push Jack Swagger when he was really, really, getting going as a world champion. Then they kind of floundered on his title reign, and then they just pretty much buried him. They tried to bring him back with Cesaro in a tag team. I was all for that tag team. I really enjoyed their work. Then they kind of broke Cesaro off on his own, and Swagger went his own way with Zeb Coulter. Now Swagger is back in the limelight again as a babyface, really getting over in this Russian versus USA angle. It's doing very well on TV. It's probably the most engaging and interesting part of the mid-card right now. I'm looking forward to their match at Battleground because I think it's going to be a very physical match, one that I definitely will enjoy, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy. But I would not be opposed to Rusev taking a loss to Jack Swagger. I would not be opposed to that. But I don't think the WWE is actually going to go that far. I think Rusev will get the victory over Jack Swagger. Swagger will kind of get his revenge leading into SummerSlam. And I think the WWE is kind of, leading into a Rusev versus Jack Swagger rematch at SummerSlam, even though I think Rusev would probably be better off beating Swagger and then going on to fight Sheamus for the United States Championship and beating Sheamus and becoming the new U.S. champion. I think Rusev being from Russia and hating America, he would get monster heel heat if the WWE Universe seen that he's holding their title, the U.S. Championship. I think that's the way to go about things. But according to sources, Swagger versus Rusev is going to continue on past Battleground, probably leading into SummerSlam with a rematch. So we'll find out what happens this Sunday on the WWE Network. I reported a few weeks back that many WWE talents are upset over pay, mainly recent royalty checks. There's a feeling that none of the talents will actually say or do anything because they all know that there is nowhere else that they can find work and make close to what they are making with WWE. However, it's worth noting that money issues are no longer just a major concern to WWE management. They are now the biggest concern among talents. Listen, I don't really know what's going on with pay. I don't know what's going on internally with WWE. I'm going to leave that one alone. I've been hearing this for a couple of weeks now that the talents are upset over royalty, being that the WWE Network now and the pay-per-views are on there. Their royalty checks from pay-per-views and that big bonus, has been severely cut. That's rumored one of the reasons why CM Punk left. Their royalty checks from the video games has been cut. Action figures has been cut. So everyone across the board is making less money. It is what it is. I mean, everyone in the workforce is making less money. So it's not like it was back a couple of years ago, 5-10 years ago. It's not like it was back then when everyone was making money and happy. The economy is different. The world is different. Everyone is taking pay cuts. Everyone is losing money. Everyone's being taxed to death. This is nothing new. So, I feel sorry for these guys, but there really is nothing you can do right now. The WWE's main focus is the network. They're going to push the network. They're going to try and make it succeed, by any means necessary. And if that means upsetting a few talents over pay, they will do it because the WWE does not want to fail with this. So I'm going to leave that one alone, but talents right now have been upset for the last couple of months, actually, over recent pay cuts. So it is what it is, man. Jim Ross talked on his blog this week about wanting to do more announcing. He talked about the boxing show he did a few weeks back and said that he'd love to do more. Dave Meltzer noted that 2 different MMA promotions have also sent out feelers to JR. Ross said that a deal could be finalized within a week. No word on if this is a one-time deal. Ross is basically looking to break the WWE stigma and show that he has range and can call other sports without sounding like a pro wrestling announcer. If Jim Ross gets into announcing MMA, I will probably start watching MMA. That's how good JR is, and I love all his work. So I will definitely keep you guys also updated on that. He did mention that on the Ross report, so I'm sure he will fill us in the coming weeks. And finally, guys, it appears that WWE has dropped the tantrum gimmick that had people talking about Alicia Fox for a while. Nobody gives a flying fuck. I didn't like it when they did it. It made no sense to me. It looked too forced, and I'm glad the WWE got rid of it. Alicia Fox is back to being just another diva in the WWE locker room. That's part 2, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's WWE Off The Script. If you missed part 1, link is down below. Chair Shot Reality, link is down below. What do I got on deck for part 3? Does the WWE want Kurt Angle back? I got the full exclusive story on that. You're not gonna want to miss this. I really don't believe what I'm reading here right now, but I will fill you guys in tomorrow on Off The Script. I also got news on Cesaro. What are the WWE's long-term plans for Cesaro? You know he's been on a losing streak lately. I got the full story on what the WWE wants to do with Cesaro and why they scaled back his push. I got news on that. I also got news on UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion Ronda Rousey. Will she appear at Summerslam this year and help the WWE boost those network subscribers for the WWE Network? I got all that plus more on Part 3, WWE Off The Script. Guys, join me then. I will see you guys on Sunday. Until then, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.